Alright, and done.
He was #1!
Oh wait, that's the owner's playoffs. You guys came for the driver's playoffs. So let me switch that really quick. Oh wait, where's Jace? Oh yeah.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because...
Alright, hello, everyone. Today, we are here for, the actual playoff prediction part. That might have been the most ridiculous thing I had to do. That skit was ridiculous, but anyway, we're here for the actual prediction part. We're gonna do it as, usual in the, Photos app. So yeah, we're gonna decide who's out in the round of 16, round of 12, round of 8, and who wins the championship. So, who gets out in the round of 16? Well, we're gonna make a pretty easy guess to start. I don't think Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is making it out of the round of 16. As cool as it was to see him win the Daytona 500, he is not gonna go very far. So we're just gonna edit this. Mark. This needs to be red. Done. I'll put what round they are on, and that's a terrible. Okay, for a left hand, that isn't bad. I'm a righty. I drew that with my left hand. That is not bad. Okay. Yeah, Stenhouse, first one out. I don't see him going very far. Next, I don't know which one is gonna finish in which position, but I know both of these drivers are not gonna make. By the way, before I moved them around, they were in the where they're at in the playoff standing. So Byron and Truex are tied, and Bubba Wallace was is currently last in the playoff standing. But I think they definitely are. I don't know what order, but they're definitely going to be out of the playoffs. By the way, first round is Darlington, Kansas, Bristol. I'm going to have McDowell and Bubba Wallace out. Michael McDowell and Bubba Wallace out in the first round. Bubba Wallace, he made it in on points. Actually, it was a good amount after Ty Gibbs and Daniel Suarez wrecked. But, yeah, he would, if there was he was in a pretty bad spot. If there was a new winner, he wasn't going to make it. The team does get better towards the end of the year, but I just don't think they have the speed this year to make it to the round of 12. Bubba Wallace out in the round of 16. And say with Michael McDowell, if McDowell can get past the round of 16, I think he can actually make it to the round of 8, because the round of 12 is, I believe, it's Talladega, then Texas, then the Charlotte Roval, or Texas. I think it's Texas in there. But either way, the Roval and Talladega are in that round. Michael McDowell is very good at super speedways and road courses. So as long as he can survive Texas, and then maybe even get a win at Talladega or the Charlotte Roval, he might actually get to the round of 8, but I just don't think he's going to be able to get to that position. So, yeah, with that, Michael McDowell is also out in the round of 16. I forgot to say in the intro, time to make myself look like I've watched NASCAR for 2 years, for 2 years. Because these predictions, I'm sure, are going to go wrong. And then the last driver I have out, this might surprise some of you, is Ryan Blaney. I like Ryan Blaney. I hope he can get a championship at some point, but I just don't think this is his year. He got a win. He broke through, finally got a win in the next gen car. but his first round has just been historically really bad for him. He's got tracks he's not very good at. Darlington, Bristol he hasn't really ran good at. Yeah, he could probably do something at Kansas, but I mean, I just don't see it. He's got no momentum right now. I don't remember what the stat was exactly, but he's running on he hasn't gotten a top 10 in a while, I don't think, so I just don't think Blaney is going to be... I heard a stat, I don't remember what it was, but it was pretty bad, and basically it said they had no momentum. I don't know, he definitely could get to the round of 12, but I don't know. I don't know if I can trust that team, especially Penske being not nearly as good as they were last year. So yeah, I have Blaney on the round of 16. Alright, moving on to the round of 12. Who do we have left? Okay. So, first driver out in the round of 12, Tyler Reddick. I think Tyler Reddick won't be going very far in the playoffs. He's a good driver. He's a driver that can win a championship. I just don't know. Get rid that. No information. Okay, good. I just don't think 23-11. I don't think they have a good. I don't think they're good enough to get to the round of 8. Horrible. Okay, I'm actually half good with left hand. Anyway, yeah, I just don't see Reddick getting to the round of 8. As a driver, he can probably get to the championship 4. With the team he has, I mean, 23-11 just makes so many mistakes on pit road. It's he or Blaney that I think is going to be the other guy on the round of 16. These two right here, Reddick and Blaney, they are interchangeable. I really don't know which way it's going to go. I just think Blaney, he just doesn't have any momentum this coming into the playoffs. That's why I have him not in. But Reddick, he isn't going to the round of 8. I don't think Blaney is either. Those two, I just don't. Especially Blaney not having a lot of playoff points. Same with the Reddick. Reddick also doesn't have a lot of momentum, and basically, I do remember this stat. The playoffs are basically 3 race seasons to get to the next round. Reddick's team has not been able to get more than 2 top 10s in a row since, like, the springtime. So, still going. Okay. I thought the video ended. They have not been able... Yeah, it's still going. Okay. They have not been able to get more than 2 top 10s in a row since spring. So, I don't know. They have no momentum. I just don't think they're going to make it in. Alright. Next driver out. Kevin Harvick. I don't even have to move. Now, I'm not saying they will go out in this exact order. Like, Brian Blaney could be, like, Tyler Reddick could be 10th out of the guys out in the round of 12. I'm just saying these are the guys I think that will be out in each round. I'm not predicting, like, the exact points position they will be in. Kevin Harvick, he can definitely win a championship. He still shows age. He's been showing this year. Age has not caught up to him. He's, 47, I think? And he is still... Yeah, I mean, he can still contend for wins if that SHR car was a little better. Once he leaves, SHR is doomed. It's not going to go great for them, but, yeah, I just don't, I mean... Harvick, he can definitely get to the round of 8. And honestly, if he gets to Phoenix, he might win the championship. Because he almost won the Phoenix race earlier this year. I really think if he gets to the championship 4, he might just win the championship. But I don't see him getting out of the round of 12. How's this thing still recording? It's crashed. Anyway. I just don't see Harvick getting to the... I just don't see Harvey getting past the round of 12. SHR is just not good enough for that. Okay, next up. This is a tough one. Alright, who do we know is going to make it? Byron will probably make it. Truex, Hamlin. I don't know. There's like 4 guys I'm going back and forth on here. I mean... Okay. So, I'm going to go bold here. Kyle Busch is out in the round of 12. I think with Talladega in the round, the Robles are, he can definitely go past it. This is kind of like one bold, out of nowhere one. That team hasn't been as great since their Gateway win. I can definitely see him going to the round of 8, maybe in the final 4. I just feel like a Talladega and, I don't know, just kind of Busch hasn't seemed to have much luck in the playoffs recently. And I don't know. Something tells me he's going out early. Too many surprise. And he's a championship winning driver. I don't know if RCR can win a championship yet, so I definitely if he does get to the round of 8, I don't think he's getting to the championship 4. I just don't think RCR is a championship winning team yet. But I mean, with Talladega in the round, with the Roval in the round, yeah, I just don't see it happening. I mean, I don't know. This is kind of my one bold prediction here. I think Kyle Busch out. I forgot I gotta constantly move this. Okay, how is it still recording? It's crashed like 5 times because it turned off like that. Anyway. Alright, so that leaves one more driver being eliminated in the round of 12. Pains me to do this because this is effectively my backup guy now that Elliott's gone. Christopher Bell. He is out in the round of 12. Again, this team just has not been good since their win at Bristol Dirt. Kind of like Kyle Busch. They just have not had much momentum since they won. I don't know. He can definitely get to the round of 8. He's shown before he can win races and get to the championship 4. I just don't think he's having as good as a year as he was last year. I don't see him going very far into the playoffs. He definitely can get to the round of 8. Let me rephrase that. He can get to the round of 8. I just don't think he's gonna go farther than that. So, with that, if Kyle Busch does get to the round of 8, Keselowski's out. By the way, that's kind of my guess. Alright, then, that leaves us with William Byron, Martin Truex Jr., Denny Hamlin, Chris Buescher, Kyle Larson, Ross Chastain, Brad Keselowski, and Joey Logano. I think first things first guy not making... Well, here, I'll do it this way. The first guy who is out is Brad Keselowski. He's not going to the championship 4. I would not mind seeing Brad get a championship, but it's just not happening. He's kind of lucky I went bold and was saying Kyle Busch won't make it. I just don't think Keselowski is... He might get out in the round of 12. It's the same thing with, like, Reddick and Blaney, where those two are interchangeable. It's the same thing here with Keselowski and Kyle Busch. It's just something tells me in my gut that Kyle Busch he's gonna wreck at Talladega, have a bad day at the Roval, and that will be enough to get him. But I think Keselowski, if that doesn't happen to Kyle Busch, Keselowski is out in the round of 12. But he definitely is not going to Phoenix, going for a championship. Keselowski, first guy out. Next, we're going to go with his former teammate, Joey Logano. He just has not had that great of a season. He actually has had a pretty solid season. It's been kind of an under-the-radar season like last season, but I just don't see him kind of sneaking up there late again. It's going to be another just typical odd number year for Joey Logano, where he just does not do too great in the odd number years. Alright, next up, I have Ross Chastain getting out. Trackhouse has not been very great. I feel like he'll be able to get his way into the round of 8. I just don't think he's going to get any further than that. Trackhouse is good enough to get him into the round of 8 this year. They are not good enough to get the championship 4 this year. He's like right in that like 5th to 10th place area, which I think is going to be good enough to get him into the round of 8. But I just don't see him getting anywhere else any further. And then the last guy out, this might surprise some people, Chris Buescher. He is out in the round of 8. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised I have Larson making it, but yeah, Chris Buescher's out. There's been a lot of inconsistent drivers this year. Chris Buescher, it's going to be a big achievement for RFK to get Buescher to the round of 8, which I think will happen. But, I mean, I don't think they're quite at championship level yet. He might sneak his way into the Final Four, but, I mean, I predicted this with Harvick. Harvick won Richmond and Michigan last year. That he won a couple races heading into the playoffs, and everyone was like, "Oh, he's a championship contender. He's about to win. He's gonna get. He might make it to the Final Four. He's good at Phoenix. He might just win the championship if that happens." I feel like the same thing's gonna happen with Chris Buescher here, except he's actually not gonna drop out in the round of 16. Only difference is he won't drop out in the round of 16. But yeah, Buescher is out. So that means our championship floor is William Byron, the points leader, well, tied for the points lead, with our regular season champion, Martin Truex Jr., Denny Hamlin, and Kyle Larson. Now, I'll say this immediately. Kyle Larson not getting a championship. That team has been checkers of records for the first part of the year. They've cleaned it up a lot, but he's getting 4th. And just like Hamlin took Chastain with him at Phoenix, Larson's going to be taking Hamlin with him in Phoenix. I don't predict there's going to be any revenge for all the contact, but they definitely won't be racing each other very cleanly. I see Larson just kind of knowing he's got a 3rd or 4th place car and then running into people. So, Hamlin is out. So that leaves 2 drivers. We have Martin Truex Jr. and William Byron. Now, Truex, kind of like Keselowski did in 2020, he's been winning at a lot of those shorter 1-mile tracks. He won at New Hampshire. That's a kind of flat 1-mile track like Phoenix. He won at Dover, which is a mile-long track. He won at Sonoma, which is a road course and short tracks. They got to really drive the car. You got to be really, a lot of turning there. So, road courses are the most comparable to short tracks out of any of the other types of tracks. So, that's a good sign. And then he won the Clash, which is also a short track. So, Truex, he's winning he's good at the right tracks, and he's got a lot of momentum. It's a really big comeback year from last year. And then we have William Byron, who is having his breakout season, 5 wins already. He won at Phoenix earlier in the year. Now, that was mostly due to help from a yellow before Harvick was gonna... that ruined Kevin Harvick's race. And out of these 2 drivers, I have Martin Truex Jr. winning the championship. For the 2nd year in a row, I predict the driver I want to have, and my favorite driver in the playoffs, I predict them to go on and get the championship. But, once again, I think Truex actually, he's going to be competitive. I think this is the 2nd time I picked him for the championship. I think I picked him in 2021. But, Truex, I think he's going all the way. I think it's going to be a really big comeback year. This seems to be his year, if any year. And he'll head to the top he'll be on top heading into what will probably be his final year in the series. We'll just do that. Number 1. He was number 1. Alright, well, there we go. That is my 2020 30 playoff predictions. We'll review this in mid-November and see that I got 14 wrong. So, see you then.